Hello my friends! Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you are new. It is great to meet you. I'm Sam. It's raining outside and it's beautiful. And I should preface a little bit some backstory, shall we? So, bless you. So, I started my book channel back technically in November. That's when I got the courage to post my first video. And last year, 2021, was my first year really getting back into reading. As you can see, I have a lot of books. Most of these books I actually owned well before starting my booktube channel and YouTube channel in general. It has grown so much since starting a booktube channel and it makes me so happy. But with that said, my TBRs are never ending. So with never ending TBRs and books to read added to my shelves, I of course am going to come at you with a TBR video of mostly books I don't own. Why would I do that to myself? I don't fucking know, but we're gonna do it anyway, so it's fun. Today I'm gonna talk about my Reddit fantasy bingo TBR. This is not a readathon, but a challenge, I suppose you could say, that goes from April of 2021 to April 2022. I saw basically Bookish Reads do this video and I was like, oh my god, wait, what? A Reddit bingo TBR? What do you mean? Yeah, I want to do that. So I spent like 2 hours curating my perfect TBR for this. I will of course leave her video down below if you guys want to check out her TBR because it's beautiful and amazing. I'm extra. Just as a human, I like a challenge and I like to make things so incredibly difficult for myself that I suffer a little bit, you know? So with this, that being said, I'm attempting hard mode on all of these and we will talk about it as we go. And as I said, I don't own most of these books because I like to have an excuse to buy more books. To be entirely honest, to be super transparent, I just want to buy these books that I've wanted for years, and now I'm finally doing it. Eventually. I have a year to figure it out, right? So let's first just jump right into it. Here is the bingo board created by whoever on Reddit/fantasy. I didn't know this existed. I'm not a Reddit girly, but I apparently am now. I'm also going to leave the links down below, one of them being the Reddit thread where you can find this bingo card, as well as all of the prompts listed out with the hard mode listed out. And I will also, you're welcome in advance, leave a beautiful, amazing, wonderful recommendation list where you can click on the prompt and find a million recommendations by this amazing community. I think it's crazy. I love that people do this. So it is May when I'm filming this. It'll be May, hopefully, when this goes up. I have 11 months to read 25 books. I'll make it work. It'll be fine. Okay, let's just, I guess, jump right into it. The first prompt is a book on the LGBTQ list, which again will be linked in the description if you look at the Reddit post. The hard prompt for this is a book that has less than 10 votes. For this, I believe my pick had 4 votes or less, something like that. For this first prompt, I'm going with words. I'm gonna go with The Drowning Girls by Caitlin R. Kiernan. Should preface, since we're still at the start of this video, I'm not giving a synopsis for these. There's 25 books. I don't want this video to be too long. I'm so sorry, but it's not gonna happen. So, I'm so sorry. But, The Drowning Girls, Sapphic, Sapphic, lesbians, I'm excited. I think this is a thriller fantasy? I don't know. It was, again, most of these were all found in the recommended section, so that's why I chose them. Great. The next prompt, square 2, I'm gonna have to learn how to phrase this as we go, is Weird Ecology. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what that means, but the hard prompt is to not pick 2 authors, which I guess write a lot of these types of book. I don't know. For this though, I'm gonna go with The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. I've heard fantastic things, amazing things. Everybody loves this, and I want to too. This is a beast of a book that low-key intimidates me so much, but we're putting it on the TBR because I would really like to read this. The third prompt is 2 or more authors, hard mode 3 or more. I'm gonna just go with 2. None of them were really interesting me that had more than 2. So for this, I've actually chosen Vita Nostra. This is by Marina and Sergio Dinichenko, I think. Dark academia meets fantasy. It's weird. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on it, so my hopes aren't like super high, but I am still interested and intrigued to see what it is all about, because it's kind of big, I'm not gonna lie. I picked some big books for this TBR, that was a bad mistake. Anyway, prompt number 4. Historical SFF, aka science fiction and fantasy. I don't typically read a lot of historical fantasy to begin with. I tried one. I'm sure I've read a few, but there was one specifically that I had to actually soft DNF because I was like, ugh, I'm not vibing with it. But for this, I'm going with something that everybody loves. The rage of the town of booktube and book talk. I'm going with These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Everyone loves this duology, and I should read it too because I want to know what it's about. I know it's a Romeo Juliet retelling with like Chinese gangs, mafia. I'm not sure. I'll find out when I read it though, I'm sure. I've heard such amazing things about this that I just have to read it at some point in my life. And if I could get to it this year, that'd be even better, right? Prompt 5, set in space. Hard prompt, oh, I didn't tell you. The historical SFF hard prompt was not set in Britain or Ireland. I keep forgetting about the hard prompts, I'm sorry. The next prompt is something set in space, hard mode, if the main character's perspective isn't from Earth directly. Like if their ancestry is from Earth, but they aren't, counts. For this, I've actually technically already beat this, but the Red Rising saga, there is a third book, but I'm actually currently reading it, so it's not here physically right now, sorry. More specifically, Red Rising, where we follow Darrow, who was born on Mars. Boom! I've already gotten a point. I'm so good. I'm fantastic at this whole bingo thing. I don't know what you're saying. I really enjoyed the series. I'm on the 3rd book. I'm quite ready for what's to come. I highly recommend this. If you're needing a book for this prompt, I definitely recommend this saga. It's wonderful. I rave about it all the time, so I'm not going to continue. The next prompt is a fantasy standalone. Easy, love it. Hard mode, if it is not on their top, I want to say it's like 90, maybe 100 books. I don't remember. But if it's not in like their top standalone list, which this one's not because it's technically a new release. I don't think that list is updated. For this, I'm going with Small Favors by Aaron A. Craig. Oh my god, I need to read this so bad. I literally pre-ordered this book when it released in 2021, and I've yet to pick it up. Why? I don't know. I love Aaron A. Craig. House of Salt and Sorrow is like one of my favorite books now. What am I doing with my life? I don't know. Reading too many books. I don't know what this is about, and I don't want to. I just want to go into it blind like I did with House of Salt and Sorrow, and I'm so excited. I love Aaron A. Craig's writing. Oh my god, it's beautifully terrifying. That's all I'm gonna say. So, this beautiful cover is what I hope to read for standalone. The next prompt is Anti-Hero. Hard mode if it's young adult. For this, I am going with The Cool Prince by Holly Black. I have owned this Owl Crate edition for as long as I can remember. I got it in high school, have never picked up the book. A lot of people love it. Like, this is such a beloved series. I really like Holly Black's writing, so there's no reason I haven't picked it up, except for the fact that I'm a little weary about the whole tail situation. I don't know how I feel about it, but I am excited for this series, which I guess features a lot of horrible characters that everyone loves. That's what I've gathered from the recommendation on the Reddit thread, so. The next prompt on the bingo card is to read a book that was or is a readathon or book club pick for the subreddit. There's like 6 or something different book clubs that they do. Hard mode if it is a current one. Luckily for me, I joined their Goodreads group, and they'll send out all of the book club picks for the month. And luckily, a book that was already on my TBR, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. This is a beautiful Fairy Loot edition. I will literally never stop talking about it. I'm so sorry if you're sick of it, but like, look at it. What do you expect me to do? I can't not speak about this book every time I hold it in my hands. But they're reading it this month for their new voices because this is a debut novel. So it works out. It's current and I get the bonus points of a hard prompt, even though it's solely for my own pleasure of checking off a hard prompt. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Hopefully this month. That is the plan. I have a day scheduled for when I start, so fingers crossed, but this is the pick. And now my battery needs to change, so I will be back with the next prompt in a second. It makes no difference to you. I went to change my battery and this little one's sitting on my iPad. What's up? This is Hinata. She's a twin. The other one is Sakura. You can tell them apart, by the way, by the nose. Hinata has a black nose and Sakura has a pink nose. Yes. And you are bigger. You're a chunky monkey. Okay, I'm gonna put you down now. Next prompt, number 9. Cool weapon, bro. Hard mode. Cool weapon with a cool name, bro. For this, I'm actually choosing Legendborn by Tracy Dion. By Tracy Dion. This is Arthurian meets modern day meets like a high school student going to college. I think I'm gonna have a few issues with this book going into it, but I've heard nothing but great things. I'm really excited about it. Apparently there's a weapon with a cool name. I don't know if it's Excalibur or if it's something different, but it was recommended for hard mode and I said bet because I've been wanting to read this since it came out. I'm just intimidated because it's massive, but I know the sequel I believe is coming out this year. I think it's a duology, so I think it's getting wrapped up this year. Don't quote me on that though. Number 10, Rebellion and Revolution. Hard mode if that's the main factor, like plot of the book. Technically Red Rising does actually count for that because that is the definition of revolution, but I don't want to duplicate books for this because I don't think you can. So for this, I'm going with She Who Became the Sun by Shelly Parker Chan. This was really big for a while. I think it might also be LGBTQ. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Anywho, I've heard nothing but great things. It's raining so beautifully outside. I'm sorry, I keep looking out the window. I've heard great things about this book. I haven't heard as much now that it's died down, but I'm still very interested in reading this. The next prompt, I hate saying that, I wish there was an easier way to do it, but the next prompt is name in the title, hard mode if it's a first and last name. For this, I'm going with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Now, I've heard a lot of back and forth. Some people love this book so much. A lot of people are hard Victoria Schwab stans. And I've heard some cons to this book as well, so like going into it with medium expectations. But I didn't love A Darker Shade of Magic. So I'm always a little cautious picking up V.E. Schwab now, but I am still very interested in this topic. I think that it will make for good conversation and make me think. I'm excited about the premise, so we will see how it goes. But that is my pick. Another author that I'm a little unsure about. Next prompt is an author that uses initials. Hard prompt is if their name is a pseudonym, if they are using a separate name, like a different name than their own. This is an author that I read from because everyone loved this dang book so much and I didn't get it. It didn't work for me like it works for everyone else, and that was T. Kingfisher. The writing was fine. I don't think she's adult. She felt more young adult, so we'll see how this goes. But her new release, What Moves the Dead, this cover, this was on my 2022 anticipated releases because I really like the premise and I like the cover, and I'm gonna read it this year because I said so. And if I don't, my backup choice would be Nettle and Bone, which was also on my anticipated releases, even though I'm not sure how I feel about this author. Who knows where we're gonna go from here, but that's fine. Right? It's fine. Next prompt, published in 2022. Half of the books that I'm hoping to read. Honestly, like so many books. But specifically for this, I really want to read Woman Eating by Claire Conda. Vampires. That's all I need to know. That's all I do know. That's all I need to know. I'm ready for this book. I think it can give some good vibes. This is a debut novel, which fits the hard prompt, and I'm ready. And that's that. Also, this cover is just really beautiful, so yeah, I want to own it and I want to read it. Thank you. On to the next. The next prompt I actually have 2 picks for because I want to read one that I need to read because if I don't, I never will, and the other because it actually fits the hard prompt. This prompt is to read an urban fantasy hard prompt with an LGBTQIA+ POV. I would love to read this. This is House of Earth and Blood. This is the first book in the Crescent City series, I believe, by Sarah J. Maas. I've never read Sarah J. Maas. I know I'm a bad booktuber. I'm a fake booktuber, but I would like to read her, especially this one, because I've heard that her writing's gotten so much better. This is a fucking chunky book, though. I read small books. I'm a slow reader. This intimidates me so much, but at the same time, I'm really interested in the plot. But there's no straight people, straight as the bone, as the POVs. So I'm not gonna go with this for the hard mode for that reason, obviously. And for the hard mode, I'm going to pick The Atlas 6 by Olive E. Blake, because somebody said that one of the like 6 characters is a bisexual, so yeah. I also just want to read The Atlas 6, as most of these books, they've been on my TBR for a very long time. I've been interested since this was self-published and going around, and now it's been published traditionally, and I still want to read it. And it might be better. Who knows? But yeah, I'm dancing a lot in this video. I'm so sorry. I've had a lot of caffeine. But yeah, I'm excited to read this nonetheless. I'm glad it fits on a TBR somewhere, because a lot of these books are books that I've been wanting to read but didn't have plans for reading, and now I have a reason. Next prompt, moving on! The next prompt is set in Africa, hard mode if the author is of African heritage. For this, I'm going with the Song of Wrath and Ruins, because I've wanted to read this for so long. It's a Finnish duology, I'm pretty sure, and I need to read it. I've heard fantastic things. I think this book that I've never read deserves more hype. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think this book deserves more hype. I think it's gonna be really good. I have high hopes going into it, and I'm ready. I was really aggressive for no reason for a book I've never read, but I'm defending it with my life already. Hopefully that's a good sign, right? Makes for a good book? Okay, this next one's a little off the hinges, even for me. But I think will describe me perfectly. The next prompt is to read from a non-human character POV. Hard mode is the non-human character is also non-humanoid, so like no elves, dwarves, hobbits, etc. And so for this, I looked on the recommendation list, and somebody recommended the Book of Night with Moon by Diane Duane. Wizard cats. That's it. That's all. Wizard cats. That's all you get. That's all I needed to know. That's all you need to know. I'm ready for wizard cats to save the world. I don't think there's a book that could sum me up better. I have 3 cats, by the way, and if I could have more, I would. I am the crazy cat lady. So I feel like this is just the next step for me to achieve my ultimate level of crazy cat lady. Next prompt I love the title of is Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey. I don't know why, but I like it. Hard mode didn't matter for this one, which is to not include time travel, but I'm actually so excited for this book. And it's How to Lose at the Time War by Amal El Mantor and Max Gladstone. Time travel love letters. That's all I know, that's all you need to know. And I'm really excited. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this one, but I think mostly good, and I'm excited for it, especially because I really enjoyed Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and they kind of give me similar vibes. I also think this is a lesbian romance, which I love even more. The next prompt is to read 5 short stories, 5 short fantasy or sci-fi stories, or hard mode it, which is to read an anthology, which has at least 5 stories. For this, I am going with a book that has been on my TBR for quite some time, a book I've been wanting to read and was supposed to read last month, Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. I didn't know this was fantasy. I knew this was a feminist short story collection. I didn't know there was fantastical elements, but I know it's a little like unsettling, potentially spooky, and I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm so excited. I'm hoping to get to this month. That's the goal, but we'll see. Number 19 is to read a book that features mental health. I've chosen another recommendation from the Reddit, The Raven Boys, which apparently deals with anxiety and depression. This is by Maggie Stiefvater, and I'm excited because I hear great things, and this is like some people's absolute favorite quartet, I believe. People love this series, and I, as a booktuber, feel like it's a rite of passage to read the Raven cycles, you know? Along with a few other books, but like that's one of the books you just have to read as a booktuber. No? Maybe just me? Maybe it's just me. The next prompt is to read a self or indie published book. Bonus prompts if you read a self-published book under 100 Goodreads review and an indie published book that was featured on the subreddit. For this, I've chosen a book I've never heard of before because it has under 100 reviews. So if you guys, which there's not enough of you, so I know this isn't a real concern, but if you guys bump this up to over 100 reviews before I read it, I'm gonna be so upset. And for this, I'm going with The Thunder Heist by Jed Hearn. I've never heard of this book. I've never heard of this author. Very little, but there's pirates and heists, and I'm into it. That's all I needed to know. It is a series, which I don't want to start more series, but I'm into the vibes. We'll see how it goes. If I can get my hands on this book, I will. And I'll of course vlog it, so you guys will also know what it's all about. Maybe we'll find like the best book ever. Who knows? Who knows? The next prompt is an award finalist but did not win the award. And the hard version of this would be not nominated for the Hugo or the Nebula Awards. I clearly am well versed in my awards. For this though, I'm going with the I'm going with A Deadly Education by Naomi Navik. I didn't know that this was a finalist for an award, but it was. I looked at the Wikipedia page, which is super factual always. This is an older Owl Crate edition. Comes with a bookmark. I've been meaning to read this for quite some time, and I just need to do it. I keep putting it on my TBRs. It's not even that big. This has been pitched as Hogwarts but trying to kill you, and I'm into that. I think it's a duology, and I think it's completed now, but it might be a trilogy. I don't know. But either way, it's on my TBR to read. The next square prompt is to read a BIPOC author. I'm gonna just say POC author, and the hard mode of this is to read an indigenous author. For this, I'm going to read Black Sun by Rebecca Ranhorse. I remember this had a lot of buzz for a while, and then it kind of died down, and then it got like a resurgence of buzz, and I'm just excited to read it. It's fantasy, and that's all I need to know. My other pick, actually, though, just because I'm forcing myself to read this heavy but beautiful book. A Snake Falls to Earth by Darcy Little Badger. I loved Elastigirl, which fits so many of these prompts, so if you're participating, read Elastigirl for something. It's so freaking good. But because I loved it so much, I obviously had to pre-order the next book, which I just need to read desperately. I don't think this will be as good as Elastigirl. I think this is about a girl who befriends a snake boy. But look at this hardcover. I love this so much. It just makes me so happy. Look at the little kitty cat. Anywho, I'm really excited for this book, whatever it may be. And both of these authors are Indigenous authors. The next prompt is Shapeshifters. Hard mode, if it's not a wolf or a dog. No werewolves allowed. For this, I am going with a graphic novel, The Girl Beneath the Sea. This is by Molly Knox Ostertag. Sapphic girls fall in love, one might be a mermaid. Graphic novel. I'm not sure if that's actually correct at all, but that's what I'm getting from just like the picture. I think the art style is going to be so freaking cute and beautiful, and I'm ready. So that's my pick because duh. The next prompt, no ifs, ands, or buts. Bonus hard prompt if it's more than three words or more. For this, I'm actually going with Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I've not read The Martian. I don't know if I'm gonna read The Martian. I don't even know if I'm set on Project Hail Mary, but I've heard such good things. Everyone loves it. I'm hesitant on, you know, men writing women. But everyone seems to really like this, so I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't think it has anything to do with The Martian. I think he just likes space a lot, which, valid. So yeah, I'm gonna try and read this sometime this year. And this might be like the most intimidating book on this TBR. I think that's pretty accurate, to be honest. And the final prompt, we made it, guys. The final prompt is Family Matters. Hard mode if it's 3 generations for a single family. For this, I'm going with another book I did not know had fantastical elements. I didn't know this was considered fantasy at all until someone recommended it, and I was like, hey, I've been wanting to read that book. What do you mean it's fantasy? For this, I'm going with 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I'll remember that name eventually. This cover is so pretty. It's such a nice cover. I've heard fantastic reviews about this book from absolutely everybody who's read it. I've never seen a bad review about it. Apparently there's fantastical elements to this generational family story, and I'm here for it because I like to read books. Typically I don't read generational family stories, so I guess we'll see how that goes. And I'll make sure I vlog all of these books if you are interested in my thoughts ever about them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a Goodreads shelf for all of these books, so if you don't keep up with my vlogs or wrap-ups or whatever, which is totally okay, you can always check out my Goodreads shelf that I'm gonna create after this video, and you can see what books I've read for what, and if I'm gonna rate them, what I thought. So yeah, that's the video. That's it. This felt a little chaotic. I had too much caffeine. But I hope I didn't speak too fast and that you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you're participating in this cool little bingo thing. It seems pretty relaxed, not too upkeep. You have a year to read, 11 months, because I'm a little late as per usual. But yeah, let me know if you're reading anything for this and participating. I think it's a really cool idea, and I love anything that sparks a challenge and extra reading into my life. So with that said, I will see you guys all soon, and I hope you have a great life. Bye!